The last roundup, last roundup.
Bullshit, horse shit, cat shit, tiger shit, lion shit, duck shit, walrus shit, penguin shit, king penguin shit. BULLSHIT, new word. ARTIST, bullshit artist. Bullshit artist.
Here we are.
Oh my god.
Bunch of bullshit artists. Last Roundup horror show. I am Frank. With me as always is John Walmsley.
Bing, bing, bing.
And Rob Avery.
What's up, everybody?
Jason is missing. So I don't know where he's at.
That's a sequel to Megan is Missing.
Jason is missing. But yeah, so here we are. We're going to talk about some fun movies. We're going to start out in 1980. Let's see if I can say this correctly. Anthropophagus. Is that
Got
right?
it.
Okay.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Otherwise known as what, the Grim Reaper, or there was another title I saw.
The Savage Island.
Yep.
The Savage Island.
Yes. So this is a summary for this film. A group of friends and a hitchhiker become stranded on a tourist island where they are stalked by a disfigured cannibalistic killer who is prowling the island after killing its residents. Directed by Joe D'Amato, who has 197 directing credits.
Yep.
He directed a lot of these things under a pseudonym, since even Joe D'Amato is a pseudonym. His real name is Aristide Macachesi, I guess. I mean, that's as close as I can come to it. But most of his credits seem to be, well, the pornography.
Erotic Nights of the Living Dead is fucking wonderful.
Erotic Nights. I got a few titles.
Yeah.
Erotic Nights of the Living Dead, Porno Holocaust,
That one's messed up.
Paprika, The Last Italian Whore, Homo Erectus, Copsucker 2, and Anal Strippers Exposed.
Wicked.
This is written by George Eastman, who wrote Stage Fright. If you've ever seen that, that's the one with the owl-headed killer.
That was cool.
Oh, he wrote that? No shit.
And he plays the monster in this movie.
Yeah.
He also plays... what else did I see he was in?
He's in the sequel to this, the spiritual sequel, Absurd.
I think he
he
might play the owl in Stage Fright, maybe. I'm not sure. He plays a killer in something else. Also written by Joe D'Amato. Normally Jason would bring some insight into the release here, but I'm sure it's available somewhere, right? You can get, it's available all over the internet, but you can buy it on Blu-ray on Amazon. I suggest it. It's a very unusual way to enter a movie. I thought something was fucked up. There was no subs or dubs at the beginning little segment, the little first thing. It was just a foreign language that I couldn't understand. Then a dude puts on headphones and the worst music in the world is playing. So I guess the dialogue here must not have been important enough to take some consideration into. There's like, here's a thing, watch this. We got a movie going. This seems like the sort of thing you'd watch on an unmarked VHS at your weird uncle's house. You'd pull it out, or it's just a fucking weird movie. There is something really off about it, kind of. It's like the dub is, I don't know, it's not like it's
Joe D'Amato though. That's
yeah,
it's Joe D'Amato.
And this is coming out at that weird time in horror where they didn't really have a template for a movie like this. So it's like before Friday the 13th really existed how it does, and right after Dawn of the Dead. It's just a weird time period. So you get a lot of unusual shit at this time. There's so many things that confuse the fuck out of me, I'll be honest. The female character, she gets has a complete collapse following this tarot card segment they have. Now, I've been around a few people that believe in tarot cards or whatever, and I've seen them do the thing, and it doesn't seem like you ask the cards questions, right? It's more like they just lay them all out, and then they tells a
That's
story
what
or
you
whatever. It's like
dealt,
it's like a horoscope. This woman loses her shit, and I think it's just because I think maybe she just doesn't know how to use them, and I don't know. I don't know why she's all of a sudden collapsing mentally, but I think the writing is a little misinformed or not informed at all about most things, because there's like a medical student, and he says it's something like she asks, what are you going to school for, or something. He's like, medicine. I need 2 more exams and it's over. That's not how shit works. It's not like 2 exams and I'm a medicine doctor.
In a Joe D'Amato film, it is.
Yeah. But it'd be like if I was like, it seems like, if I was writing a book about a fireman and I'd have a character say, if I put out 15 more fires, I get my own Dalmatian. Like this shit seems, it's like, doesn't line up.
It needs to be a line in the movie now.
I do like all the sailing shit at the beginning, and it's not because there's a lot of really cool dialogue or fun stuff happening, but it's because it seems like an extended Virginia Slims commercial, and I just kind of like hanging out on that boat with those people in that time period for a little bit. It was just fun. The early 80s, it's good. It's a good time. The worst thing about this movie is the score. I think it is terrible. Twangy flange, plodding keyboards. This movie should have had hard driving synth. Something really, it's ripe for that shit. Like, put a fucking. There's a million. During this time period, there was so much great horror scoring happening. They could have picked anybody. Anybody. Guy Moon, anybody. I don't care. There's one part where they're in the woods and there's like a thunderstorm happening. The music kind of worked there, and I was a little bit on the fence, but then by the time they got to the graveyard, it just developed into this cacophony of noise. And I know what they're doing. It's supposed to make you feel unsettled. Okay, I don't need that. I want to enjoy a film. I don't want to have to mute it. I muted this movie so many times because of the score and the sound design that I was just like, I had the captions on. I don't need it. If it's going to be that bad, I don't need it. The severed head in the bucket really made me laugh. I had to rewind it back.
Oh, yeah.
Because
awesome.
That is active ignorance. She did not look in that bucket on purpose that whole time. When you're pulling a bucket up, you're looking at it. You're going to see it. She was looking off in the distance. It was so goddamn funny.
And it was one shot, right? It was all one, almost maybe a little bit of cutting here and there.
And she's on a boat, and she's like, "Where did he go?" Looking off into the ocean. Like,
she's like,
and but at least by the time you pulled even if you didn't look at it all the way up to bringing it into the boat, before you put your foot into it, you don't look. She didn't look at all. I think that
awesome.
I think the Grim Reaper guy is really funny. Every time he pops up, which is very few times, he's not in this very much.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there should have been somebody off screen going, "Oh my God, that man's had too many marijuanas." Like, there's the expression that he had on his face all the time seemed like a, I don't know, like a Reefer Madness kind of insanity, because he wasn't a monster, really. He was just a crazy guy, right? Like
he had some sort of disease from all that eating, that flesh eating.
Yeah. I don't know why every single character in this movie isn't armed after the first murder. The only one dude has like a kitchen knife. Just find something, guys. Get that cleaver from the dead dude. Break off a wine bottle. They're all over the place.
Yep.
There's a monster afoot. Take care of business.
Could have used a torch on him.
Anything. There's a million things, and no one there to tell you not to use them. I don't think this group of people ever had a plan through the whole thing. They see a boat floating. They see their boat floating at one point, and instead of going towards the water, they end up in like a an old castle. Like they don't. It's right outside their window, and then they end up deeper into the mess. So I don't know. They were asking for it the whole time. I did not like that pregnant lady scene. I didn't need it to be so gruesome.
Yeah, I didn't think you would.
I don't need that. You can just tell me the dude ate the baby. I don't need to see it. But
baby, the other way.
It was very effective, for sure. It was funny to me when the dude at the end reappears to save the day. Yeah, and the thing that was so funny to me is because he's the guy that says, let's go get the boat or whatever, and then you don't see him until he comes back. So who knows what he was up to. He might have went and got an ice cream. I don't know. He's completely vacant. Like they don't even touch base with where he was at until he comes back with the pickaxe.
He probably went to the bar or something.
The formula for this movie is kind of like the classic monster movie sort of thing, though. So, like, I think I think it's a good representation of horror in general. I think that if someone didn't know what the genre was, you could give this to them and be like, this kind of covers all your bases a little bit. It has some good effects in it. I liked a lot of the stuff that was happening, but that fucking score dropped it down from a 7 to a 5 for me. It was so bunk. I hated it. I hated it. But yeah, they could have hit an 8 or a 9, I think, if they would have had a better soundtrack. That's how much it affected it. Normally, it's just an incidental thing. It was in my face, so that's what I think.
All right, cool. That's all right. Yeah, I had a feeling you were not gonna be digging the baby scene. I don't either, but it is effective.
Oh yeah,
they really did with that shiny wet rabbit.
And I think knowing that it was a rabbit helped me through that a little bit, because if I had I had read that in the IMDb trivia, and it kind of smoothed it out for me a little bit, because that was gross.
Yeah, I only know about this movie because I read Chaz Ballin's Beyond Horror Holocaust. That was a sequel book to Horror Holocaust. Yeah, I only know about it because of it, and it was, I believe, that's how I learned about the video nasties, and I'm pretty sure this was on there for that baby scene. I'm almost 100%.
Yeah, you're right. It was. Yep.
Yeah. So that got cut out. I remember seeing this for sale at Best Buy, like when I was in college, this was the Anchor Bay heyday of DVD, they were just releasing everything.
Nice.
So I didn't see this until I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago. I ended up not buying it because I just didn't know what it was, but this is just some good Italian horror. Like, it's not A game, it's definitely B game. It was made for the shock value of it. That's Joe D'Amato porn, horror porn. Like, just straight, let's get violent, let's rip some people apart. George Eastman, I liked him a lot. He's a really cool presence on the screen. He's a big dude. That's a big dude. Like, in Absurd, you see him more humanly. The movie Absurd, I said, the spiritual sequel, he looks more of it like a human being. He's crazy in that movie too. I feel like this is almost D'Amato's lightest family-friendly film that he made.
Well, based on the IMDb I read, yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah, he did. Did he do Beyond the Darkness too? I believe he did.
Not sure.
That movie is crazy. It stars Cinzia Monreale from The Beyond. She was Emily in the Beyond, the blind girl.
Mm.
Craziness. Anyway, sorry, I got off topic here. Yeah, I definitely marked down the head in the bucket. Love that. That was so awesome. Like, that just made me laugh so much. I liked and I don't know how to really pronounce her name. It's either Tisa or Tiza Farrow. Mia's sister. And this was actually her last film. She retired from acting after this one.
It is so you know what? I wonder if it had anything to do with them dubbing her also. Like,
yeah,
they did not need to probably do that. I can't assume that she was I can't assume she's a bad actress, because I think there's like at least 3 sisters, right, that were acting.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I thought one of them was in that Schlock movie. Have you seen Schlock?
It's
like John
Landis movie.
Yeah, I thought one
Monkey
of them was
suit
in that.
guy.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of something fucked up. But regardless, I thought Mia Farrow had 2 acting sisters. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I don't.
She wasn't in that. Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. Anyways,
yeah. But I've only seen this one a few times. I just thought it would be fun to get some Italian irreverence on here this time around. I give it a 7. It made it on the list. It's worth seeing it just because of that. That was my big appeal. The video nasty list, It's
a cool movie.
There.
I mean,
don't go in.
Soundtrack is just. You can mute it. You don't need to hear it. Everything is cool.
Soundtrack.
It's dubbed, so the acting isn't like you're missing out on a performance that's like. I mean, you're just missing out on a fun dub, but the soundtrack can be muted. I would love to have a cut of this that has no soundtrack. I could put my own in. Rob, what do you think?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it was one of the most gruesome films that they made at the time, and it's like, especially the baby eating scene. I mean, it was just like that was considered shocking as like the Serbian film is today. I mean, that was a scene back then that freaked people out, and probably reason why it was banned in a few countries, or at least heavily edited out.
Yeah. This is like, it's like something you would hear about on the playground. Like, there's this movie,
right?
And this happens. Yeah. So
it definitely worked for shock value, and a lot of the gore effects, except for the head in the bucket scene, was really well done and gross. And I think it's like one of those stand the test. Like, they're like, can you sit through this film and get challenged by all the different gore that people are used to seeing, and it's like, this is some crazy ass shit, like the dude eating his own fucking intestines.
That was awesome. Yeah. That is a good scene. I like that scene a lot.
Yeah, it's just what I do. I eat stuff.
Yeah, he's just like, and he just dies.
Yeah.
They totally should have made a sequel to that movie, man. They still could,
It's absurd. It's called Absurd.
I was eyeballing that. I almost picked that one for next month, but
that is
fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
it's a fun movie.
But I don't know for sure if it was actually a sequel, though.
No, it's like how the Gates of Hell trilogy isn't a real trilogy,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It's like they're related, but not like Star Wars related,
right?
So it's like that. It's a spiritual sequel.
Nice. Well, what rating would you give it, Rob?
I would give it a 7.5. It almost makes an 8, but like I said, the music was kind of dated. I think it was more geared towards the popularity of the music in the country that it was made in, and they were probably like, "Oh, that's a great soundtrack," But here, like, we're not used to.
I don't know
hearing that style.
I was so offended by it. I looked up the composer, because I was like, this has to be a dude that just got a piano or something. Like he just got a synthesizer in 1980, and he's like, oh yeah, man, hit that loop. He just hits the loop, and then he hits some keys. He doesn't know what he's doing, and then there you go. That's all it is. But let's go to 1987 for Berserker.
Yeah.
Summary for this film: 6 people renting a cabin in the woods of Utah run afoul of a legendary Viking warrior who dons the claws and mouth of a bear with no help in sight. Directed by Jefferson Richard, written by Jefferson Richard, Joseph Kaufman, and Hennig Schellerup. This movie features the always wonderful Buck Flower. Every time I see him,
Yeah.
you always like seeing him. It's like an old friend.
Yep.
He's playing one of the weirdest characters I've ever seen him do. You don't get to see him do an accent very, very often. But the other notable actor in this is Bart the Bear, who followed this film up with the hilarious Great Outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
He is the bear in the Great Outdoors.
Nice.
That made me love this movie just a little bit more because that is my best. That's my favorite bear performance when he's jumping on John Candy.
Oh my God. I love that movie so much.
But I liked this movie right from the beginning. The old couple at the beginning, the schlocky bear attack. They make all these killings seem like a bear attack. They even show you a bear. It's a red bearing, as John said.
Yeah, it's a red bearing.
But it immediately jumps to this group of these 80s teens, and they are like, I love all these characters. They're so great. It's like the perfect 80s teen. They're not teens, they're like 20s or whatever.
Right.
But so you got some great dollar store 80s rock happening through this whole movie. I looked up the guy that wrote it. His name's Chuck Francoeur. He's done a lot of music, and it all sounds like this. So if you want to have a good time, check him out. John Goff is also in this movie. He plays Officer Hill. I thought he did an amazing job. I haven't seen much of his stuff aside from he's in Alligator, and I've seen that, but I don't remember him at all. And he's in Skeeter, and I've seen that, but I barely remember both those. He's also in Tammy and the T-Rex, which I've almost clicked on more times than I care to admit. It just seems like my kind of bullshit. But yeah, there's this whole montage that happens to this song Cool Dude. And it is
Cool Dude.
It's amazing. These guys are like shirtless, pouring beers on each other.
Yeah.
I've never
It's a
been to
beer
any
commercial.
party. Have you ever been to a party in your life where something like that happened? Two guys pour beers on each other and then wrestle each other in their jean shorts. Okay.
No.
I don't know if it happened in the 80s or not, but
I've seen
They're
girls.
cool dudes.
yeah, cool dude.
They're just cool dudes.
Yeah. I think this movie may have been sponsored by Miller Lite. It's the
Gotta
only
get
beer
that
you
budget.
see, and I love the way that
Budget somehow.
this movie is 1987. Is that what I said? Yeah,
Mhm.
and the Miller Lite cans look the same, like they've never changed. I don't think I can mention the music enough, though. It's just great, cheesy hard rock. I love the part when the main douchebag is in the cabin and he's like smoking a joint, and he pops a tape in, and this couple's on the floor trying to sleep, and he just blasts this shit.
Hey, man, turn it off!
I don't know why anybody would act like that. It made me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
So
These
funny.
characters these characters, it's like they're wanting you to hate them, but I liked them. Like the douchey bullshit the one guy does, where he's like getting up in Buck Flower's face and stuff. I thought it was funny to me. Like, it does take way too long before you get a good kill. It's like 40 minutes in, and when you get it, it's not just a kill; it's also a sex scene where this guy isn't. He's like actively not trying to grab a boob. He's like in the middle of her chest, like grazing it with his hand, trying to be very respectful, I guess. But it's transitioning back and forth. It's really long.
My God.
And yeah, you know.
I think the director didn't want him to cover up her boob with his hand. You know, it's like, they gotta show him.
Yeah, do the thing you would not do. Yeah, I think the kills are really comical. I don't think it's on purpose, though. I really think they're trying to sneak this Viking in on you, and I don't know why they would do that. I don't know why they wouldn't do one or the other, because everything else works in the movie, I think, except for their decision to not pick either a bear or a Viking. If you're going to have a Viking, that guy looked badass. He could have been in this whole movie slashing it up. Lean into it, you know. He give him a boat even if you want to, you know, like really do it up. But instead of, they tried to, you know, use the bear, and they probably spent way too much money on that bear when they could have put it into Viking shit, or the other way. They could have not had the Viking, just bear attacks. I just think it would have worked better. You know,
I'm gonna buy the rights to this film and remake it.
There you go. $10.
I think the best scene in the movie is when the bear fight happens. The Viking fights the bear. This is when you realize, oh, it's the Viking the whole time. The bear's actually good somehow.
It's a good bear.
But this guy's off to the side just cheering this bear on. Yeah, go bear.
Oh,
come
my
on,
God.
bear. So,
that was the douche, right?
Yeah, he's like pumping his fist.
Oh, my God. It's so awesome.
I know. I would have just taken an opportunity to run myself. I mean, like,
well, wasn't his leg messed up or something?
Yeah, he was messed up at the time.
Yeah, he couldn't go anywhere really.
Yeah,
but, I think this movie
could have hobbled along or something.
Yeah, drag his ass. I think this is a 6. It's a fun time. The mistakes were made. Let's be honest. There were some mistakes.
Yeah.
But the overall idea is original for the slasher genre, especially at this time where like they were kind of probably running out of ideas in '87, and slashers were dime a dozen. This one stands out, I think. You definitely remember it for sure.
Yeah, Berserker. So funny enough, I randomly checked this out on Tubi like a month or so ago. Just randomly out of the blue. Maybe it was sooner than that. I don't remember. But it was like so weird. It was just so weird. And then we picked it for this month, and I just thought it was funny. And then I watched it again, and I enjoyed it so much more. And then also one thing that obviously Buck Flower. I mean, I love that dude. He's so good. He just adds to whatever he's in. And he had a good rapport with John Goff because they've acted together in like a bunch of stuff.
It was all improvised.
Yeah. Yeah. And John Goff was also in The Fog. Mm-hmm. He was the boat captain where he's Al. He's like, hey, come look at this fog bank. You know, he's the one that gets stabbed through the chest.
I haven't seen The Fog in a long time. So.
Oh, really? I love
that was a creepy.
I watch it quite often. I like it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I was 16. That's quite
wow.
The remake.
Yeah.
A remake, whatever. It was all right, but you know, the original's bad. If a standalone movie, whatever, but you know, no, it's not going to win any awards. Anyways. Yeah, I like this. So if I understand correctly, the Nordic invaders come here with their fucking berserkers, right? Mm-hmm. And they just feed it a bunch of cocaine and let it go nuts. Is that what? Like, I thought I heard them like I thought I heard in the
They
story.
said drugs, but I don't know if it was cocaine.
I was like, it had to have been something. They weren't injecting steroids.
yeah.
You know, just cutting them open and rubbing the steroids in the fucking arm. It's like, go boy, go.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's I called it the Incredible Werehulk. That's what I called him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the bear. I thought the bear wrestling scene was cute because it was like you knew he wasn't gonna hurt this guy. Like, it was so funny. It looked playful to me. The mask got on my nerves though.
Yeah.
It just because you know what? Maybe it was because it had that strip. Strap going like a fucking hockey mask.
You know what bothered me about it?
Face?
What bothered me about it was that they acted as though he was using that to bite people with, and just logistically, that ain't gonna happen. I thought that it kind of looked cool, but also, you don't see it much. So
that's true. Yeah, I read that dude showed up to the audition, ripped his shirt off, and yelled and got the part. Apparently, like, that's what IMDb said.
I'd like to know more about what his story is, because I think he only has like 2 credits on there or something. Like, I want to know what he was doing before that, what made him want to do it, and then what he did after that. And is he alive? Like, these people, you can't find them. I've done some research on trying to find some of these people. I just couldn't find nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They don't want to be found. Yeah, because who was the douchebag? Josh? Was he Josh?
Yeah, Josh Winter.
Winter. Yeah. Does he look at my lips? Not the Winter. I love that. Was a fun scene.
Yeah.
That was
coming every year.
Oh man, that guy. He didn't hit that level of douchebag. He didn't hit that like Revenge of the Nerds Stan Gable level of douchebaggery that he could have. He had some pretty good redeeming qualities. Yeah, he was a douche, but it wasn't believable. It's like, and then he's like, I always give you shit because you're smarter than I am. I was like, wow, he's sensitive. Fuck, look at you. Look at you. All right. You got feelings. We're good for you, man. Good for you. And he lives.
Yeah.
He's left for dead and he lives. They're like, what about Josh? He's like, oh, he's all right. And then credits. Like, it was so funny. It was super funny. Sorry, I got a text. I wanted to make sure it wasn't my wife saying, shut the fuck up, Scarlett's down here. But so the music, that opening song, I swear to God, it was saying King 8, like the number 8, or King Ace, like they were gambling. It was King H.
Yeah, I know. I had saw that.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that the songs really had much to do with anything that was.
Oh no!
I mean, Cool Dude is definitely. I think they did
commercial.
I think the song existed before the segment, and they're like, yeah, let's do a Cool Dude segment because they already had the dude on board for. This is the guy from Cool Dude? Yeah. We'll just do a segment then with the beer and we'll get the 3-wheeler out. This is when they didn't know those things were death traps.
Yeah, this was a fun movie, man. It was creative. George Buckflower, he adds to everything, whether he's a bad guy, good guy, whatever. Mm-hmm. Rarely do I see him as a nice guy. I'm sure he has been.
He's usually a little sleazy. I think my favorite role he's ever been in is the Wishmaster role. I love that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I love how much interaction he has. He's like the fucking sidekick, right? Like for a little bit, for a minute,
a little bit.
Yeah, and he has Reggie Bannister killed. Is that right? Yeah. Reggie's the pharmacist. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
does Angus Scrimm do like the intro for that movie?
Yeah. He read the intro. The gin, and then So it was a little bit of a Phantasm reunion there.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a good thing. I loved how I don't remember her name, but I just call her the not quite Linda Hamilton but hotter chick.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
she's about to take it all off and she's like, nah. I love that. Was a fun gag. I was
But
like,
you see that you see
that
all
was
that
fun.
you see all that later.
oh yeah, you get it later, but she's not gonna like. She's gonna make
She's
it
the
work
one
for
that's
it.
in that.
It's
She's
making
the
you
one
sweat that nudity.
She's the one that's in that back and forth scene later on
Mhm.
with the first kill. Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird, but you know, whatever.
It was
The 80s, am I right?
I don't know. I wonder if that whole thing was something the director had in mind, or if it was an editing choice, or if the director told the editor, "This is what I want to do," or I don't know.
I want to juxtapose the sex with the violence, all at once.
Since this is the first time for both, we're gonna hit them all at once with it. You know, like
we're just gonna assault their senses.
I just thought it stood out because I've never seen that.
Violence.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen before, where it's like that cut back and forth like that.
Oh, not that quick, but I've seen it like cut between a sex scene and a kill scene though.
Yeah.
But not
back and
hyper
forth
quick like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes like the girl reaches, that orgasm, that loudest orgasm ever, and then someone else is getting stabbed as like the crescendo of both things.
Yeah. All I can think about.
I can't remember all the movies.
I guess
I've
the
seen
reason why it stands out is throughout the rest of the movie, before it and after it, there's no editing like that. It's
right.
Very
It
straightforward.
was made for that scene alone.
And it's like, was that like the editor going, "This is my time to shine," or was it, the director's choice? I just wonder where that vision came from, because it's a bizarre one.
Right. But I ended up giving it a 7 out of 10. That was fun. There's a lot to like about it, and it's good for like if you're like, hey, let's watch a bad movie.
Yeah.
Let's check this out. It's fun.
Rob?
I give it a solid 8. So for comedy factor alone, because it's a movie that's absolutely hilarious from start to finish. I mean, and the gore effects, it's like the gore effects were okay. I think they spent most of the budget on the bear scene, because that bear wrangler must have been really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just cracking up throughout the entire movie. The characters are hilarious, especially the Josh guy. He's supposed to be this big douchebag. Then at the end, he's kind of the hero. And he's really super mean to that dude at the beginning. You're like, oh man, what an asshole. Then he turns out to be not so bad later.
Yeah.
The poor blonde chick that tried to get away. I forget her name, but she almost gets away at first. Because she's like lost in the woods, and they find her. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll just go that way." And she's like, "Okay." She gets lost again, runs to that chick, and ends up getting killed, almost getting killed, because there's two of them there. She's still alive. She's all scratched up. And next thing you know, the guy comes back and kills her. Yeah, he kills everybody. With his bare hands. Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that
Golden Chris.
I think one of the weirdest things about this movie is when John Goff, is that his name? The cop?
The cop? Yeah.
Yeah, he pulls over the kids, and like he sees them throw a beer can out of the car, and then he sees them drop a bag of weed on the floor. And he just fucking lets him go. I'm like, I've never fucking ever had anything. I've had experience with police many times, and that shit would result in you getting your car fucking tossed. They would look through all your shit. They would throw it all over the place. They would they would charge you with operating motor vehicle under the, they would get you for so much shit. Like literally.
Yeah, but he saw it.
I'm
he
assuming.
just wanted to fuck with him.
Yeah,
I know he saw it.
There are
I know
cops like that.
No.
Like just
depends on where you live.
I don't know. I live in the pretty much in the sticks, and they're pretty asshole around here. So yeah, I don't know. Let's go to 1981 for Nightmare, or what's the other title for it?
Nightmares in a Damaged Brain.
Yeah, there you go. A mental patient.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. I know that title, but this I didn't realize that was this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A mental patient embarks on a murder spree upon escaping from an institution. You could also that could also be the summary for Halloween.
Lots of movies.
Written and directed by Romano Scavallini. Did you know that Tom Savini threatened to sue over this movie?
Yep.
No.
They tried to credit him for special effects on this film. The director himself even claims that Savini did most of the main special effects, but according to Tom, he was really just a consultant. He'd tell them stuff needed to look more realistic or how to light something. But to this day, I believe that the director is like, no, Tom did it. I mean, he did the main things. Like, this is bizarre. Like, they tried to put his name on it, and they tried to use his name to promote it.
Okay.
I
That's
think,
where that comes from.
and I guess, to him, the effects weren't up to snuff or whatever, because I would have just taken it. I think that I like how these schlocky things look. The decapitation at the beginning looks good. She's like trying to feel for her head, which is a weird thing, but I like it. I think I like this movie a lot. The dirty ass old New York footage. Every time you get to see that, it's just a period in time that you can't replicate. You also see the Twin Towers in this movie for a small portion. It's like seeing a ghost. Fucking real creepy. I don't really understand the way time jumps around in this movie. They try to distinguish different time periods with title cards like day 1, day 2, final day, whatever. It literally means nothing to me. It's I have the timeline is all fucked up when I'm watching this, but it doesn't matter. I just couldn't tell what time. Did he break out? What is he really? It seemed like
is there a time limit?
Yeah, I don't know. The killer in this movie, George Tatum, played by Baird Strayford, is a great psycho murderer. I think that it's a shame that this guy did not do more films, because he could have been an underground horror favorite. He could have been at conventions. I thought he did an amazing job. I think the strangest thing about the movie is all the weird shit with the lady, her kids, the stepdad character. I think the mom may be a little bit insane, or at least very problematic. I think the kids are annoying as shit. Yeah. This is the same thing that happened with what was that movie with Brooke Shields?
The Italian. Alice, Sweet Alice.
Yeah, the kids in that terribly annoying. As a person who has 3 kids that fight all the time, I'm looking for fantasy, man. I want an escape. I don't want to fucking see the exact shit that just happened 2 hours ago in my kitchen on TV. It's not entertainment to me. So don't do that. It's not hard to write. I think it's I get offended by it. I'm like, you are people that write a movie. You've written a thing. You've had time to make these characters whatever you want, and you've made them bicker and fight, and none of the dialogue matters. They could be saying anything, and it doesn't matter. You're just making me upset. Stop it. Just a little rant there. I think it is insane to me that they trot this kid down to a murder scene, not only to show him his friend's fresh corpse, but to also on the spot investigate him for murder. That was fucking nuts. That would damage a kid to no end. They would have to hook him up with some therapy after that. And this is one part that I laughed at, because there's a babysitter at the end of this movie, and a 6-foot+ man wearing a mask is walking downstairs towards her, and she blames it on this little kid. She's like, CJ, will you stop it already? I'm calling your mom. I'm like, you are an idiot. You are an idiot. That is a man. That little boy.
Well, remember, he got her with that. He wore that shoulder height thing with the mask. Remember?
Okay.
He
I did
got
not.
her
I
with
must have
that.
missed
Oh
that.
yeah, he's a little fucking fuckhead. That little guy. I hated him.
That kid was awesome.
I think this is an apt film that had a lot of fun, period appropriate effects work. There were some structure issues with the story, but nothing major. I thought the twist at the end was complete horse shit. Like just I don't want to spoil it, but maybe I'm gonna spoil it. The woman's like, "It's my husband" at the end, and let me tell you something, man.
Bullshit artist.
That's all I'm saying. Fucking bullshit artist. I think that this movie is pretty good, though. It would be a great double feature with Maniac or Pieces. I think that
Pieces, yeah.
They like have a similar vibe to
them.
Mm-hmm. So I give it a 7. Solid film.
Yeah, this was another one I think I knew, like I said, I knew it by Nightmare and A Damaged Brain, but not just plain old Nightmare. I read about it somewhere. I think it was on one of those like top 20 lists or whatever from somebody or some other. But all right, so I liked it. Okay, it was cool for what it was. But was he also a government asset? Did they Clockwork Orange him?
There was some of that flavor on there.
What was that? What was that all about? It's like, okay, I loved that opening scene. Wow, I was hooked from that. At least, you know what I mean. That was a hell of a strong opening. I love that. He just wakes up and finds her head, and it opens his eyes, and he freaks out. He wakes up in an institution.
Oh yeah,
like that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But I wrote in here many times, "Fuck them kids," because fuck them kids. They sucked.
Yeah, man.
They were a drag. Even CJ, his pranks were funny though, but that just made him like a little fucking shit. If I had to deal with that, oh my god.
There was nothing cringier in this movie than when the stepdad guy they're at the beach and he comes down and he sits down next to CJ and he's like what does he say? Are you gonna marry my mom? And he's like, would you like that, CJ? It's just like this whole
that guy
Hallmark moment, and I'm like, ugh. And then
he was a porn star for sure.
And then I just kept thinking
like
this guy is considering marrying this insane woman. She's unhinged.
She is a psycho.
She's the kind of woman that you would have to constantly apologize for. Like, I'm sorry for my wife. Holy shit.
No, she's the woman you don't marry.
No, right. You don't.
She's a mess.
But yeah, continue, John.
No, you're fine. No, dude, don't worry about it. Let's have a conversation. I'm cool with that. What I wrote something about the phone booth. I was like, they get pretty graphic in the phone booth. What was it? Was there something in the phone booth, or did it spell correct from the nudie booth? Remember he went to the
nudie booth.
Maybe that's what it
Must
was.
have been because he goes to the he goes to that like peep show or whatever it is where the window raises up.
And you could there was no glass in between there. That was crazy.
What
I couldn't believe that.
What a crazy Ralph Bakshi sort of establishment that is. Man. Like there's a door that opens up and you reach in like a weird creep because he was reaching. I mean, I don't know if everybody reaches in, but he was reaching in there.
The whole sex maniac thing was, I don't know. He just saw that his dad getting dominated and then killed that chick.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
It's kind of like the the Christmas Evil kind of thing. Do you remember Christmas Evil?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
The whole thing is set
Yeah.
up based on this dude seeing his dad dressed up as Santa and rubbing on his mom's leg, and then he goes insane, and like that's where he breaks. So this is the similar thing, except for he decided when he saw his dad being dominated to sever his lady friend's head. So
Yeah, I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, whatever. Let's keep it trucking here. Let's.
He had a
move
question to ask her.
along. Yeah, yeah, he did.
You know who the kid reminded me of is the kid that's in the toy. What's his name? God damn it.
The kid from the Christmas Story, but not Ralphie.
Yeah.
He did porn.
Yeah.
That kid. Yeah.
I can't remember
He
his
did
name.
some porn.
It's like Scotty Thompson or something like that. It's definitely Scotty.
Yeah. He was Flick.
Yeah, but anyways, where were we?
All right, yeah. So, so like, that guy took a lot of damage and kept on trucking. He kept some like Jason Voorhees damage, man. Like
he got shot like 6 times. Well, 5 or 6 times. The kid emptied his revolver, and then he shot him.
It was a good shot too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't afraid of shit when he went back in there. Like the second time, he's like, still got that gun."
The way he did that one
kid.
shot. Yeah. I said CJ with that shot through the hole in the door was fucking clutch.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome.
For sure. But yeah, that was unbelievable amount of damage he took.
Oh yeah, I admired that, but I mean, still though, those kids just got on my fucking nerves, man. They really took me out of it. The effects were good, really good, actually. I thought they weren't Savini good.
Yeah,
I don't know if he really did it or helped.
I can almost see it like in my head. You've met people that like want to be more involved with something than what they are. Like they probably called Savini in. He come in, he's like, I can just picture him standing around, and the guy's like, so that's what you would do then. So we could take this as a Tom Savini idea. This is a Tom Savini here, like well, and then they like just tried to use it, in any way they could.
They embellished his role. They're like, well, we paid him to be here, so
I think they had his name on some credentials somewhere, and he was like, no, you can't. You can't do that. But,
yeah, he wouldn't have been happy. But yeah, I gave this one a 5 because fuck them kids.
That's all it takes. Where you land, Rob?
Oh man, see, to me this was one of my favorite slasher films of all time. So to me, this is a perfect 10. I saw this when I first was like, I was like maybe 12 or 13. I had rented it. It was like on a double feature from Continental Video. It was Nightmare and The Slayer, all in one tape.
That's an interesting movie too. We've reviewed that one in the past.
That's a fun film.
Yeah, that's the one that doesn't show you the monster through most of it, right? And then at the end,
you see this awesome monster that they could have used so many times for so many.
That was an
awesome monster. It was so cool. All that money they spent on that fucking monster. That was like their whole budget.
Yeah, I think I do. If I remember right, there was something about the structure of the monster that made me laugh out loud when I thought about the way it was killing people, because like a lot of that's first person, right? Like in the Slayer. Yeah. But anyways, Rob, continue.
Yeah, man, that was just like the brutal gore, and it was just like the special effects are really well done. I loved all the gore effects, and then if you have the uncut version, which I watched on my DVD, so it's like I don't know how cut the Tubi version was, but like some of the
pretty uncut.
Yeah.
Oh really?
I don't know.
Yeah,
What,
it seemed pretty violent.
you tell me what was cut, and
Yeah,
I'll tell you if it was.
We'll see.
Like the
Yeah,
one
we'll see.
scene where the lady is getting stabbed, and the uncut version, you see the knife go all the way in, and he just keeps doing it. It's like
it was pretty long.
I feel
so
like
that could be
happened.
the uncut version. Then
They might have
that
cut a little bit of it out, but you definitely saw the knife going in, right? Like,
yeah,
I know at least once I saw that.
yeah, they might have trimmed it up
Yeah.
a little bit, but yeah, solid stuff. What's no? You said it was 10, so there we go.
Yep.
So let's move into Dollman versus Demonic Toys, 1993. Summary for this film: Judith Gray teams with Brick Bardo, who is Dollman, and his girlfriend Ginger to face the evil demonic toys for one final battle. Directed by Charles Band, written by Charles Band and Craig Heyman. Cast highlights. I had a couple people here I wanted to mention that are involved with this film. Phil
Fondacarlo.
Okay. He plays Ray Vernon. You have seen him in Willow. He's the badass. His name's Von Carr. He's like the hunter, the guy with the spear. He's badass.
He's the leader. He's the leader of the army.
He's also in Garbage Pail Kids. He plays Greaser Greg, and he's an Ewok in Return of the Jedi. He played a dwarf in Phantasm 2. Yeah, he plays Torok the Troll. A bunch of other stuff. You've seen him in a million things. Then we have Frank Welker, who does like every cartoon voice in the world, from Dr. Claw on Inspector Gadget to Spike on Land Before Time, and Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot of stuff, but he plays Baby Oopsie Daisy. Tim Thomerson, what was the movie we just watched him in not too long ago?
Trancers.
No, we didn't watch Trancers. He was doing cocaine. He had a harmonica.
Fade to Black.
Yeah,
Fade
there
to
you
Black.
go. He's hilarious in Fade to Black. But he's also in all the Trancers movies, which I kind of want to see what those are about. I don't know. I like him. I like how high he wears his pants in this movie. It's it's wonderful. A little horror trope alert here. I always point out when someone is reading a porno magazine at work in these movies. This has got to be like the 6th or 7th or 8th time. It's just, I don't know who decided that was, like, who was the first person to do that, but it's in fucking Reanimator. It's in Microwave Massacre. I can't think of all of them, but it's in a lot. It's in a lot of movies. Keep an eye out for it when you're watching shit. Be like, there's a guy reading a porno magazine at work, like people never have done ever. But this is exactly my brand of horrible garbage. I mean, magic electric blood from a homeless man awakens demonic toys. And then a doll man who's an alien from another planet, who's also a detective.
And on his planet, they're just that small.
Yeah. This movie was really made for people, for such a specific audience of people that would really, really enjoy it, I think, which is me, because I like demonic toys, I like Dollman, and I like bad channels, so it's just it all comes together in this movie, the sequel for no one except for me.
So you're into like the zanier,
I like
lower B side.
Not
Trauma.
Oh, I love
like,
Trauma.
Not
Trauma.
You love Trauma.
Trauma's
Trauma's
great.
awesome.
I have so many Trauma DVDs.
Dude, I like a couple Trauma movies, and that's it.
I understand. I'm not the majority, but my three favorite production companies, I guess, would be Trauma, Full Moon, and God, I like Brain Damage a lot too. Like, they've put out so much garbage that I like. I don't know. That's
New World.
New World has a lot of good stuff on it. Yeah, for sure. The terrible actress who is playing the unhinged cop character in this movie, she at one point calls this group of 4 animated toys suspects that she's going to, she's trying to arrest. She's really underselling what's going on here. Like, if this shit happened, you don't say, I was on to some suspects. You say, wait a minute, dude, hold on. Before you arrest me, let's take a look in this goddamn pipe. There's a baby doll. There's a fucking clown thing. There's a robot that seems the most dangerous. It had lasers and shot them at me. This is serious. I think they put a lot of work into this. Look at all the giant props they had to come up with for the Dollman shit. Like, somebody had to come up with a giant whisk, a giant bowl. Everything's giant, and then when they have, I have just a couple problems. I'm not gonna say it's perfect. I don't know why this woman thought Dollman would be the perfect size to help her with this problem, because it seems like she should have just went and got a bunch of adult people that are much larger and can smash toys easy. But regardless, whenever they have the toys and Dollman in the same realm, like they're in the same shot,
same plane,
yeah, it is hilarious. It's just these big-headed people in costumes. My favorite is the G.I. Joe guy, who is just hilarious the way all the time, just the way he looks.
He's like,
the whole end of this movie is the baby doll trying to have sex with the nurse character. And if they would have put that in the movie, that'd be something you'd talk to your friends about on the playground. I know that much, because that is such a disturbing visual for me, because the doll was larger than the woman, and it was disturbing. Like, they kept putting it in my head that because the doll keeps saying it's going to fuck this girl, and it was just if they would have done it, this movie would have been infamous.
If Roger Corman had directed it, I bet you scene would have happened.
I mean,
Joe D'Amato would have done it.
Yeah, he definitely would have. He definitely would have.
Like a few times. Every movie.
Yeah,
it would have been like that maggot scene from Galaxy of Terror.
Frank Welker says some of the grossest shit that any of his characters have ever said in this movie. Like when he tears open the nurse's shirt and says, "Now there's some all-day suckers." I mean,
oh yeah.
And he says so much gross shit.
Now, please understand, I'm not a big Full Moon fan. I do like my choice is the Puppet Master. But so I've never seen Demonic Toys or Dollman, but I'm fully aware of them. Did the baby always talk?
Yes.
Or was that just okay?
Yep.
Was it always Frank Welker?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. I haven't seen Demonic Toys 2, which ignores this movie completely. That came out in like 2006, so who knows what the fuck I bet it's buck wild. But yeah, it's not a great movie, but if you're me, you like it a lot. I don't remember what you thought about Bad Channels. Did you like Bad Channels, John, or was it just eh? Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched.
I couldn't remember if you were with us when we did that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. It's not my favorite Full Moon movie. I think that Dollman's better than this. Bad Channels is better than this. Demonic Toys is better than this. But, it's like if you got this as a bonus disc with any of those movies, it's only an hour. I mean, it's just a fun little bullshit.
Yeah, this is basically like a clip show of Full Moon's. Like, it's almost like an investor reel with a little bit extra.
They did that shit a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
It's
all
like
the time.
it's a fucking clip show remix, with a little bit of original stuff. Like when The Simpsons did that clip show, they were like, contains only 10% new footage. Like it was that kind of thing. So this was my first foray into Dollman or demonic toys. Like I said, I've been aware of them. I know about them. I'm just never got around to seeing them. I didn't really care to see them, but now I'm gonna watch them. Demonic toys, especially that clown snake thing.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. He was pretty cool. Oh yeah. So what's up with the dude in riding a tricycle? And he just falls over
man. And then dies with blood everywhere. I don't know, man. You just gotta go.
I was like,
with it.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's Dollman versus demonic toys.
Wouldn't it have made more sense though if, since that cop is already in that building, that she shoots that guy on accident or something? Instead of him just
she hears her
falling
wrestling.
over drunk. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So it's a greatest hits. It even shows a little bit of bad channels with Nurse Ginger.
Mm.
She was so cute. She's such a cutie. I liked her. I like.
Yeah. The thing about it is, anytime that, like, when that guy's talking to her through the window or whatever, and he's like, yeah, you got to take some pictures for me or whatever. I'm thinking, dude, you are a full-grown human man. What kind of fucked up thing are you going to do with this little one? Why are you so into her? Like, I understand. It does. I don't know. Just weird.
But after watching this, it makes me want to go check out other stuff. I'm always looking for new stuff. When I was a kid, I was definitely, or maybe not a kid, but way younger, I was much bigger snob. I didn't fuck with Full Moon except for Puppet Master.
Oh, really?
I was invested in the Puppet Masters because I was like, once they did the whole Decapitron Demons arc, but then I loved that so much. I don't know why I did, and then they just sort of abandoned it. I believe. I don't know. I can't remember. There's so many different ones now.
That's where we're stuck because we were gonna keep reviewing those right down the line. What is that? 4 and 5? Is that what that is? Or
Did
5
it
and
make
6?
It to 6? I want to say 4 through 6, or maybe just 4 and 5.
I think it's 4 and 5.
Remember.
There was same director, everything, but I have the set and I can watch anytime I want. But I think there was a problem with watching it online. Like, I think it was in the works whenever you came on, but I don't think you have the set, right? Do you have the Puppet Master set? No, somebody didn't have it. Yeah, so it must have been that. But yeah, it's one of the only ones that's not available online. And also, I have no idea how far the Puppet Master universe goes, because I've got a box set, but I'm pretty sure there's at least 3 releases that aren't included in that.
Well, there's all the Axis of Evil ones.
Yeah, that's the ones.
But
I'm
even
not
some
sure
of those are remixes.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think. I'm almost
Charles
certain
Band
I saw one of them and maybe.
Charles Band is a shyster.
Oh yeah, hey man, he's making money. He's making money. He's just, hey, people like Puppet Master. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
but I gave this a 6 out of 10. It makes me want to go check out Dollman, especially because Bruce Spence was the bad guy. He was the tall, lanky dude from Road Warrior, Mad Max Road Warrior.
Like, that's one I haven't seen since back whenever I had went through all the other Full Moon movies at my video store. And I was like, I guess it's Dollman. And then, that might have been even before this came out. What year was this? This was 93. Yeah. That was probably right around when I got my first rental card, because I begged the shit out of my parents because they wouldn't let you rent if you weren't 18. So you had to have an adult person go in there with you and be like, he can rent whatever he wants, because we're bad parents, and then and then you can go in and rent whatever you want. But yeah, so I didn't. Yeah, I was all about Full Moon back in the day. I still am. I don't. There's not a lot that I don't like that they've put out. I'll be
They
honest.
made a lot of crazy movies.
I even kind of want to dig into those Ginger Dead Man movies with
Oh, Jesus
Gary
Christ.
Busey.
I
And
draw
maybe-
the fucking line.
And maybe maybe I'll start watching those Evil Bong movies. They're at like 9 or 10, so
Ugh.
maybe it's time to take a
They
dip
made
into
a-
those ones.
They made
I
an
haven't seen any of those
evil
movies
Bong. Yeah, they made an Evil Bong versus Ginger Dead Man.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to be a
shit,
part of
like-
that. I want to be a part of that. I want to like it. I want to. I don't know if I will though, because there's a few properties on, even on Troma. I don't like Sergeant Kabuki Man. I think he's fucking stupid. So anything that's Kabuki Man, I'm out.
Mhm.
But anything that's Toxic
He was
Avenger,
cool in
I'm in.
part 4.
So, what's that?
He was cool in part 4. I'm Citizen Toxie.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that. Yeah. Regardless, he pops up, and if he pops up all the time in Troma shit. But they got some really solid weird shit in there. Terror Firmer. Have you ever seen that one?
Oh yeah, it's a
I've
badass.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's real fucked
It's so
up.
gory.
It's like
I've seen like the first 3 Toxic Avengers,
Mhm.
Mother's Day, which I love.
Yeah.
Love
That's flick.
it's really well done and not like stupid humor funny. You know
there's
what I mean?
stupid
Like,
humor
I
in it
thought
though. Punk rock's dumb.
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh, but
Disco is
they
stupid.
killed it though. They killed it though.
Yeah,
I love those too. It was such a cool flick. And Rabid Grannies, that movie was really good.
That was
Way
that
better
was
than
really
the
cool.
title suggests.
the ones that stand out to me that I didn't like.
and Subspecies.
Oh, Subspecies is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Surf Nazis Must Die. I didn't like. I wanted to
I
like
like
it.
that.
I wanted to like it. I didn't like it. I think Troma's War is really an underrated gem. If you've never seen that,
That's the best up film.
Troma's War is like essentially what's that TV show? Lost. It's kind of like starts out like that. They're crashed in an airplane, and then they have to like do battle with all kinds of shit on this island. Like these people just have to band together, and it's got all the people that you've seen in other Troma shit. Like Lloyd Kaufman
Okay.
plays a mutant in it that's really fucked up. It's good shit. But where were we at on the review? 'Cause we
I gave it. It's all right. I gave it I gave it a 6, and now we need to go to Rob.
there we go.
Hey, both of you guys give it a 6?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, then I'm
we
going to
gotta-
give it a 6 too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that honestly 6 is where most Full Moon stuff lands.
Basically.
I mean, I think Bad Channels is a little better than a 6 just because of the soundtrack. I love that fucking what's that band that's in there? They dress all weird during that segment. God damn it. I'll never
I
think of
can't
it.
remember.
Psychotic Circus or something like that. Psychotic Symphony.
Turn it off now before it's too late! Hi, kids. It's the Captain Happy Show starring me, Captain Happy. Let me get out my magic mirror. I see Bobby. I see Susie. I see Billy. Filled with joy this time of season, I'm always happy for no reason. The big red sun shining down on me, the sweet little birds ship a melody. I love to run up to the hills and to be tall through the daffodils. Mr. Butterfly, will you be my friend? Let me capture you in my little net.
I'm so happy, dear, so happy, dear, so happy you have too. I'm so happy, dear, so happy. Would you like to be happy too?
That's it. That's the one.
Okay. I really like Puppet Master 3 a lot.
Yeah.
don't know why. It was just
Is that the
it was just
one
a
with
really good story.
Is
I
that
think
the
that's
one
when
with
they were
the?
fighting the Nazis?
That was Toulon
Oh.
was in Germany.
Oh,
Six
okay.
Yeah, that was
Shooter
a good
comes
one.
out.
I think
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
the best
a
out of the
really
Puppet
good-
I
Masters.
think.
And
Is it two? Is it two that has the like the human-sized dolls or something in it? I can't think. Like the end is this woman who's like a human doll.
Oh, that's the movie Dolls.
No,
That's
no,
totally
no, no. At the end
I don't
of one of the
remember.
Puppet Master movies, there's like a curse or something, and this woman becomes
Curse
like
of
a
Puppet Master?
no, it's one of the earlier ones. But
Oh, I don't know.
she takes like some of the puppets on her road show with her, and she has like these weird, creepy eyes. I gotta find it. I gotta find a photo so you can see what
I don't
it
I
is.
know which one you're talking about. I just don't remember which number that was.
Well, it had to have been two.
Yeah, I think it was because I was very irritated when they didn't return to that premise. Yeah, it's two. I'm going to pull up the picture so you can see what it is because it's just it was very creepy, and I thought that they should have continued with it. You don't remember this? See her? Can you see that?
Yeah, there we go.
Like she was like a human doll.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
I don't remember. But
See,
now I definitely gotta watch
because
it.
Toulon looks like this. In the
He's a
movie.
mummy, right?
Yeah, and like at the end, he's trying to put himself in a doll body that he's made, and he made one for his wife too. But she ends up being the only one left. I can't remember exactly what happens, but she takes like a few puppets on the road for like a puppet show, and she's going to start the whole thing. And then they go into 3, and it's like a completely different shit. Oh, it's the one where they go back in time to Toulon's Revenge or whatever it is.
Right. And
Yeah.
they sort of rewrote him as like, oh, okay. I couldn't.
They keep
it was
rewriting
small,
him.
but now I see.
They can't decide whether that motherfucker's good or bad. they never know.
Well, in Littlest Reich, he's definitely fucking bad.
Right. I kind of like him
No
better that
question
way,
of that.
to be
Me
honest.
too.
I can't
I
wait
love
to.
that movie.
I hope that they put out a sequel to that one.
Me too. That was so good. It was
That's-
so like
Good.
way better than expected.
It ups the ante for the whole franchise. But anyways,
Thomas Lennon rocked it too.
Yeah.
he rocked
yeah,
it.
and he only did it because his kids were into the movies. So,
Mhm.
like, but yeah, let's get into what's coming up next month. Hopefully, Jason will join us.
Nah, I hope he's all right.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I'm sure he's okay.
Yeah, he probably just fell asleep. He probably forgot all about it. Maybe he thought.
Hey man, times is tough. Sometimes we
Yeah.
just need to sleep.
I need it right now.
Yeah.
The picks for next month, I'm going with The Unnameable from 1988.
Nice.
Rob
Love that
has selected 100 Tears from 2007.
Oh, the big clown.
yes.
Yeah.
40.
Jason has selected The Initiation from 1984,
Nice.
Okay.
and
Good
John
pick.
has pulled Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2.
Yes. One of my
Which
favorites.
has been
Nice,
that one
dude.
has been volleyed about for a long time. I think it was on a couple polls we did that almost got into the running.
God damn it.
Is
We're
that one
making
on
it
Tubi?
happen.
That one is available a lot of places, I think. I'm probably gonna watch it on VHS.
I'm pretty sure it's on Shutter. Oh, it looks so good on VHS, man. Like that's one of those movies that looks good in standard def because it's
Yeah.
like that's how I saw it on television.
Mhm.
I still have part 3 on VHS. And I know I got part 4 still. Deliver Us from Evil was pretty
Yeah,
good.
you can definitely watch it on Pluto for free.
Nice.
I'm not sure where else. I've seen it.
Did they
other
still
places.
follow
Prime Video?
Did they still follow Mary Lou in part 4 up to part
Oh no,
4?
they went to a different villain. Father, oh goodness, I forget his name. I think it's. Anyways, it was a new
Oh,
villain.
okay.
You're blowing
Evil
my
creep.
mind right now because I didn't know they had more than a part 2. Like,
Oh,
Oh
wow.
yeah, there was a 3. They took Mary Lou for a second movie,
Yep.
part 3. But she does an awesome football kill. Remember that thing?
Yes.
It turned into a drill. Like
Wow.
half football, half drill, and pinned a dude. Oh,
what the
dude, it
hell?
was
How
rad.
did I know about
He blasted someone with lightning.
this? How the fuck did I know
Mhm.
about that?
Yeah, Mary Lou, but it's not the same Mary Lou. The Mary Lou was only in the second one. They had I guess she didn't want to do the third one, but because I guess
Oh
it
my
was
god,
more-
it looks
more in it.
crazy. It looks
Oh,
so
yeah.
crazy. The cover art is
And it got a
her,
hotter
Is it the
chick to play
motorcycle?
Mary Lou.
yeah, it's a motorcycle. It looks really like Slumber Party Massacre 2. or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Is that what
Oh, yeah,
is that
dude.
the weird Slumber Party Massacre movie? Is that
Oh,
one
the
with
guitar?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
guitar
I
guy?
remember
Yeah,
that
that
one.
was
Yeah.
part 2.
Oh yeah. That's
I finally watched that all the way through like about 2 years ago, and I was like, "Wow, why did I skip through this? This was actually kind of a fun movie."
oh yeah, I loved it whenever we watched it for the show. That's probably one of my really one that I found, it's like one of my favorites that we watched on the show. Yeah, I'm not too big on the original recipe. It's all right. I mean, the original Slumber Party Massacre.
A pizza there.
Oh,
eating.
yeah.
Disgusting. How could they?
It was okay.
It's all right. I love the killer in part 2 and in the original. I always felt like the guy seemed like one of your dad's friends. Like this is just a guy that his name's Willard or whatever. He hangs out with your fucking dad. He's probably, says off color shit all the time. You don't want to really be around him, but evidently he kills people with a drill.
Yeah, that's not one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
It's all right. But anyways, that's the show. Thanks for doing it, guys.
Yeah.
We
That was-
will,
Miss
A lot
you,
of fun as usual,
Jason.
man.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Jason, I hope everything's going well and you're just sleeping away the day.
Just sleep away this reality, sir.
Sleep it all away. But
Sleep it away.
we will see you next month. And with that being said,
Good night, guys.
And to all, a good night.